Hey guys, my name is Jordan from Tech Today, and it's time to review the iPhone 6. So let's get right into it. Honestly, the iPhone 6 has a very good look and feel to it. I'm personally not a big fan of the antennas on the top and bottom of the device, but the curved aluminum design makes it feel really nice and premium while you hold it. It is a little slippery, but it's really nice to feel, and it's very nice overall. The iPhone 6 is a 4.7-inch screen, which I find is very reasonable considering the overall size of the device. And also, if it's a little too big for you, Apple implemented a pretty cool feature that they call reachability, which basically means that if you double tap on the home button, it will basically bring down the whole first half of the home screen, and then, or any screen for that matter, and then you can just click on anything you want as usual, and then it will launch the app as usual. And then it's just pretty cool if, let's say, it's too tall for you or something like that. So Apple really thought about the fine details as usual, because that's typically what Apple does. The build quality of the iPhone 6 is very high up there. I mean, they really focused on a lot of the details, and they've got the whole aluminum body design, along with sapphire glass on the camera lens. I mean, they just really did a very nice job on this device. And if it is pretty slippery, I mean, there are some advantages and disadvantages to going with aluminum, as Apple typically does. But for the downsides, I would say that it does get scratched up sometimes if you leave it on the table or something like that. So I definitely recommend picking up either a skin or a case if you can, because that'll really resist the scratches. And a skin actually still makes the device slim, but it just does prevent those scratches. So I do recommend that if you can go and get one of those for yourself. Apple will move up to a 1334 by 750 display, and that's also the 4.7-inch display that I discussed earlier in this video. And it's an improvement over the past iPhone, but it still is not 1080p, and I'm sure most people will get disappointed by that, but really it's a very nice and sharp display, and it doesn't compromise battery life at the same time. And it is pretty decent overall, and it keeps that Apple Retina quality display thing that they've been talking about for several years now. So it's a pretty decent display overall. So let's move on to the camera. And the iPhone 6 only has an 8-megapixel sensor, but really where Apple excels is the image processing. And if Samsung Galaxy S5 has a 16-megapixel sensor and the iPhone 6 only has an 8-megapixel sensor, if you put the images side by side, you'd probably think that the iPhone 6 image has a little bit better color reproduction and a little bit higher quality overall. And it may not have as many megapixels as some higher-end phones, but really it's not completely necessary because they do excel in the image processing, as I've already stated, and that's pretty nice. And it does also have a 1.2 megapixel front-facing camera, which is not the best at all, really, but it gets the job done, I guess, for this type of device. One thing that I think Apple could have done a little bit better on was the speaker. I'm not talking about the speaker quality, because the quality is all there. It's really just more of the placement. Because currently the speaker is placed right there, and it's on the bottom, so if you're watching a movie or something, your hand will cover it up, and then really you're forced to move your hand from a place that was previously at, just so you can hear, because it's only a one speaker thing, unlike the HTC One where it has two speakers, and those are very nice and they're front facing, so you really won't affect anything. But Apple still continues to go the bottom facing speaker method, and it's really not the best, and I think they should change that on a later version of this iPhone. I personally think that iOS 8 works very well on the iPhone 6. It's very fluid with the hardware, and it just works very well, I think, personally. So I think it was a good choice for them to use iOS 8 on this device. So I did have one very bad experience with the iPhone 6, and basically what was going on was that at sporadic time periods, I couldn't connect to Wi-Fi, like any network at all, or even my data connection, which was very surprising to me. And even turning off the phone, turning it back on, didn't resolve the problem most of the times. And this happened about 6 or 7 times, which was very surprising for me. And I actually did call Apple, and they reset the phone, and it still did occur after that, which was very surprising. And the end result was basically to go to the Apple store, and they were able to switch out the phone for me. But it was sort of a disappointment to have to deal with that, and I hope this does not happen again. But it was a pretty rare scenario, I think they told me. So hopefully it doesn't happen to anyone else. So roundup time. This is a pretty good smartphone, honestly. I mean, I like it a lot, but personally I would not switch over to iOS because I am an Android user, and I will remain an Android user, I personally think. So maybe sometime there'll be an iPhone that's for me, but at the time I really don't think there is. But for most of you guys out there, I definitely recommend it. It's a pretty good phone overall if you like simplicity and overall nice build quality, good design. It really does excel in all those departments. So I hope you enjoyed the video. Thank you for watching. Please rate, comment, subscribe, and I'll catch you in the next ones. See ya.